It is 8 o'clock. You're listening to WIFO FM Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO, brought to you by Van's Barbecue, First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, O'Quinn and Associates, and Connection Coffee and Creamery.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Do you know why most people don't invest outside work or at all? Because they don't know where to start and they don't know who to talk with. If this is you, give me a call. Hi, this is Sean O'Quinn. I can help set up a plan no matter where you are in life to get you on a suitable path to a sound financial future. Give me a call, Sean O'Quinn, at 912-385-1000 or stop by the office at 212 South 1st Street right here in Jesup. That number again is 912-385-1000.
Nothing brings people together quite like a great cup of coffee. At the Connection Coffee and Creamery, you will find a place where conversations begin and friendship never ends. Whether you're looking for a space to connect or a caffeine pick-me-up on your way to work, we've got just what you're looking for. From delicious handcrafted beverages to rich creamy ice cream or a filling breakfast and lunch items, we've got you covered. Short on time? Order through our Joe app or give us a call and we will have your items ready for pickup in our drive-thru. We are open Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 5, and Saturdays, 8 to 2. We are located at 254 West Cherry Street. We look forward to connecting with you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Well, Bob, did you make it down to Jacksonville? You did. And you did a lot of cheering, didn't you?
Yeah, thanks to Bernie Lewis, I had a ticket, so went down there with the Blade and had a good time.
Well, good. Glad you had a good time. Well, we got guest in here this morning, Larry Bradley. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you.
Good. Thank you for the Brunswick stew.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my stomach and all of my tongue. We appreciate you bringing in.
Well, I think you will enjoy it.
Oh, I know I will. I love Brunswick stew. Larry Brantley in here this morning. Larry, what are we talking about?
Well, we come in to talk about several different things. One's going to be our memorial wall. I brought Floyd Murray with me this morning. He is our Treasury Secretary for the Memorial Wall Committee. And I'm going to turn it over to him and let him tell you about the wall and the blanket and the tickets, and then we'll talk about parade and other things.
Okay. Floyd, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good. So tell us what's going on with the memorial wall there in front of the hospital here in Jesup.
Well, a lot of people are under the impression that this is a one-time deal to furnish the funds for it, but we're having a yearly fundraiser of some type because it's an ongoing thing. We always have to put the names of the deceased on the walls. We have to buy flags for the wall. There are several different places we have to do maintenance on the wall, so it's really an ongoing thing to raise funds for it. At this time, we're selling raffle tickets on a quilt that's got all your services on it. It's handmade, and it is, I think it's 96 by 96, but you can see all your different services displayed on it. The flag in the middle, and part of this material that is in this flag had couldn't be bought elsewhere. It had anyway, my cousin made it, and she had to get the material out of Atlanta.
Okay.
It couldn't be bought locally. We're selling the tickets for $15 a piece, or for $150 for $125 for a book of them, a book of 10.
So how much are they individually?
$15.
15, or you can get a whole book of them.
For a book of 10 for $115.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to leave this with you, too,
All right.
in case you need that. That's a flyer on it.
Okay. And let me just kind of describe the quilt a little bit. It's got the flag in the middle, but this is the colony flag, the 13 original colonies, right here with the circle, with the flag waving on a beige background with a big red border around it, and then around it are the different services.
Yes,
that are around
sir.
it,
Yes, sir.
Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, Coast Guard, and all that kind of stuff, and then decorations around it to make a very beautiful quilt. Let me tell you, folks, if you win this, ain't nobody else going to have one like this.
Amen. They
That's
won't
right.
do that.
It'll be a keepsake.
It's really a lot of thought went into that quilt. And, I asked my cousin a year ago to make it for us, and she did a lot of research on it.
She did good.
Come up with the different. You can get your tickets from Prime South Bank up there, and also at what's the car sales?
Alan Brown.
Alan Brown at
Quality
car sales.
Brown.
Quality
Brown.
up there at Jesup Insurance.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
Ralph
you can
up
get
there.
tickets up there.
See Alan Brown up there.
Yes, sir. And also
You
we
see
got
Katie at Prime South. She's Miss Ticket Seller herself.
Katie
See
or
Katie up there.
Jackie Murray.
Jackie's got them also. Okay.
Yes, sir. And we've also still selling our bricks for $100 a piece. If you've got a veteran that you want to have a brick put it down on the walkway for, contact any of us on the committee, which is Larry or myself, any of the names on that flyer there. We got the bricks.
And how much are the bricks?
$100 a piece.
$100 a piece. And how many characters can you put on them?
The top line, you can only have 14 characters in it. But we got it in a 3-line.
Three lines.
Put the name first, then the service they were in, then the rank they were, and the years served, like 1966, 1970, whatever the years served was.
Okay.
That'll all be on the brick. Now, if we can rearrange it where the name goes over 14 characters. We can put it all on there except the dates. We can put the names on there, and we can put the service and the ranks on there. But if it's over 14 characters, we have to cut something off.
Okay.
Also, we've got benches. If you've been out there and looked, you can see the benches that are out there for different organizations. Well, I think right now we have 3 benches out there, but we're going to put more, and they're $1,500 a piece. And Butch, if you'll describe that to them.
Is this a granite bench or
a granite bench?
That's the top right there where you
yes,
sit,
sir.
or
yes,
the back.
Sir.
That's got to be the top.
That's the top. That's the top where you sit.
That's the top where you sit.
All
right, and it's it's granite. So you got the grayish, bluish granite there, and then on this one right here has got Vernon Sadie Jackson, American Legion, and then you got the American Legion logo there with American Legion, U.S. American Legion, and Post 311. And of course, if people purchase a bench, they can put on there what they want to, and is done appropriate,
right.
Deemed appropriate.
There's one bench out there from Air Condition Company that's got several veterans' names on it that they're honoring.
Okay.
So you can have most anything you want put on that bench, and they're $1,500 a piece.
Okay.
As I said to begin with, we are needing funds. It's coming up to the end of the year, and we have to put all the names. What happens in January is I go around to all the funeral homes, get the names of the veterans, and then we fill out the list. We don't never know how many we're going to have, and we fill out the list, and then we have to put them on the wall, and that is paid by the organization itself. We don't charge the individual anything for those names, so we're going to need money right on and right on.
So what are the qualifications for a name to be put on the wall, memorial wall there in front of the hospital?
The qualifications are to have lived in Wayne County and to be buried in Wayne County.
Or a federal cemetery.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like the one in Glenville, right?
Glenville, right. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds good. It's a great thing that the wall was built. Looks great up there. A great memorial to our veterans here in Wayne County that have given the ultimate price. And then, of course, who've also just naturally passed away.
Right. Yes, sir.
Let me say this. The purpose of selling the brick is to be elevated to the wall. That helps us finance the engraving on the granite wall. So that's why we encourage everybody, especially the veterans who are living now, get your loved ones or your family to buy you a brick. Then when you pass away, you get automatically what we call elevated to the wall.
Okay.
And that's a big help for us collecting money.
Okay.
But that's very important to us. And if you haven't seen our wall, I'm telling you, I'm very proud of it. We are all very proud of it. It is something that will be way beyond all us. It's granite.
Yeah, it's going to be around
It's not going away. It'll be here forever. And why I'm talking about that, I want to thank Joe Irada in the hospital. That is the best location in the world that we could put it.
Right.
I have people every day tell me that is such a good location. And we couldn't have done it without Joe Irada and the authority at the hospital. They were kind enough.
If a person, is looking for a particular name on there, how do they find it?
They're on the ground. If you'll walk around on the bottom, you'll see the branches of service.
Mm-hmm.
And you should know the branches of service. You
right.
go. It's in that general area.
In that general area of that branch. Okay.
Right. Eventually, that will have to spread out and do more. Now, on the other side of that, I get calls quite frequently about my great-granddaddy died in Revolutionary War, and we want to put him on the wall. Well, we know we do it by year, so it's kind of hard to back up and put him in 1800, and this is 2023.
It wasn't a Wayne County then.
That's exactly right. My recommendation is buy him a brick, and let's put it on there. And you don't have to have the exact dates. If you want to put, Butch's name on there, you can put it and put World War II or Revolutionary War
right.
or whatever war he fought in, Vietnam War. Doesn't matter, but that's one way to do it without having to worry about the dates.
We have several on there like that they didn't know the dates on it. We would put like the Korean conflict or something
right.
like that on there to place of it. Also on the quilt, I didn't mention that drawing is going to be Veterans Day at the VFW at lunchtime.
And it's also hanging in the VFW right now.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be on Veterans Day, so it's just a few days away then.
Yeah,
it is.
The drawing on that.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Man.
But it's hanging there, and you don't have to worry about smoke because they don't smoke in there anymore.
No, there's no smoke in there anymore. That has to be done
outside.
outside.
You go look at the blanket, and the ladies behind the bar there will sell you a ticket or 10 tickets.
Okay.
Or 100. It don't matter.
All right. As many as you want to buy, they got them.
One other thing about the brick, we will accept a brick like WLOP, WIFO, honoring the veterans. We will do that, Butch, just for you.
Just throwing that idea out there.
Just throwing it out there. I just thought I'd put it out there.
Just tossing it out there.
But as long as you put honoring the veterans on it, we will accept it.
All right.
Because it is a veterans wall. And we don't want to put Sally's shoe stand on there because it's just not honoring a veteran.
Right.
And that's our goal, is just to honor the veterans.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
While we're on that subject, we have some super sponsor spots left. Anybody that would like to do a super sponsor for their business, they're $2,500 a piece, and I think we got 3 left, didn't it? We got 3 signatures.
What does a super sponsor receive?
He gets his name in the center wall in 5-inch letters.
Okay.
If you go down there and look in the center walls, we got super sponsors on both sides of the wall. Give you a little history. The reason we had to do that is we had to move the 3,000 names from Bill Morris Park to our wall.
Right.
Well, we couldn't very well go back to those people and say, you know, the American Legion did a great job when they done that. Mm-hmm. And they collected money back then, so it would have been wrong for us to go back and collect more money. So we sold super sponsors for $2,500.
Okay.
And Wayne County was very gracious to us. If you can see on that list,
right. Very, very gracious.
They have been very good to us. I cannot say enough.
The other side has got names on it also. I didn't take both sides.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But
Well,
that's
y'all
how
have done
you,
a great job with the memorial wall. It's a great tribute to the veterans, and it's great. I mean, it's something we can all be proud of here in Wayne County.
Well, we like to think so, and we thank you for acknowledging that. It's been a team effort. I've got a good board. They support me and Floyd in what we're trying to do, so that helps a lot. All right.
What else is going on, Larry?
I want to talk about our parade on 11/11 at 11 a.m.
That's right. Good thing that Veterans Day is on a Saturday this year.
It is.
That's right.
Yeah, normally we don't have it on Veterans Day simply because of the conflict, and it not being on Saturday. This year it's on Saturday. We've got several entries. I encourage you to call Banks Real Estate and put your entry in so you can get lined up. I don't want to tell a surprise, but you need to come because there's going to be a surprise in the parade.
A surprise in the parade.
Yes, it's going to be. It will be worth seeing. I can promise you that.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, you can call Banks Real Estate at 912-559-2142.
Do that again.
912-559-2142.
Call Banks Real Estate. They're handling the details and the entries on the parade, the Veterans Day Parade coming up on Saturday the 11th at 11 a.m. in downtown Jesup.
Yes, we hope to have a very large parade, as usual. The parade route's going to start off at South West Broad and Cherry, go down Cherry to Macon, turn right on Macon, go to Walnut, turn right, and end up at the water fountain.
Okay, end up at the water fountain, the arch there. Okay?
We did not go out on 84 for several different reasons, traffic, and we hope, I'm hoping one day we'll have to shut 84 down like we do the Christmas parade. That's a hope, but
that's a big thing, cutting down 84.
It is.
But that's a good route right there, down Cherry Street to Macon, Macon to Walnut, Walnut to the water fountain arch there. Okay?
That's correct. The other thing I want to talk about is don't forget about Unity Church of God having the lunch on the 12th. To honor the veterans there.
They're going to have a service that morning honoring the veterans. If you are a veteran out there, please get your name to them that you're going to be there. They'd like to be able to put your picture up on the slide there and honor you there during the service that morning there at Unity Church of God on the 12th, and then afterwards, lunch on the house.
That's correct. They asked the veteran and
All
maybe
veterans.
one family member or whatever, don't let that stop you. You need to go. You can call them at 912-530-6625. That is the church secretary. They got to kind of get a count to know how much food to put in. Okay. Also on the 11th, right after the parade, the VFW will be feeding the veterans at 12 o'clock. The Elks are kind enough every year to cook the barbecue and then come in and serve it to our veterans. Very nice of them. They do a good job of that. If you haven't went, I recommend that you go. Now, the next thing we got is we have our honoree this year, which will be Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGowan. He is a Korean-era veteran, about 40 years in the military. He lives here naturally, but he's 89 years old. Very smart man. He was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam and during the Korean War. So I don't have his whole bio here, but please come and honor him. And the last thing I got is one of our parade members, David Urich, passed away. He was a United States Army veteran. He's very involved with all our military activities. We will be having his vehicle in the parade to honor him. He just passed away with cancer in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So the parade committee decided it would be the right thing to do. So please come and watch our parade.
All right, Veterans Day Parade on Saturday, the 11th, Veterans Day at 11 a.m. in downtown Jesup. Everyone's invited to come watch, and everyone's invited to do an entry. Just call Banks Real Estate on East Cherry Street in Jesup to make your entry into the Veterans Day Parade. Anything else, Larry?
If they got any questions or desires, they can call me at 912-294-3604. Or they can call Floyd. Give me your number.
912-294-0198.
Okay.
I know Floyd didn't want that number out there, but it's too late now.
You put him on the spot, didn't you, Larry? And remember, our Butch and Bob shows are always recorded most of the time in podcast. When I say podcast, they don't. My IT guy don't say podcast. It's recorded and put on our website. You can go to bigdogcountry.com and click on there where it's got local news, local sports, and B&B show, and there it is. It'll be up by 12 noon today. So if you missed anything that you need to know, it's right there.
Thank y'all for letting us come.
All right, Larry.
It's a great day to be alive, and it's a great day to be free in America.
That's right. Okay. Bob, any questions or comments for our guest this morning? All right. We'll be back more of the world-famous Butch and Bob show in a minute.
Concerts are memories that last a lifetime. Join us for Hospice of South Georgia, Inc.'s very first charity concert event, Omaha River Jam, featuring Cameron Marlowe,
Tonight we're gonna burn them all.
Dylan Carmichael, Mackenzie Carpenter, and Lance Stinson.
I was born there, raised up right there.
We're taking over JC Fairgrounds in Jesup on November 18th for a great night of country music, football, food, drinks, vendors, and more. Our gates will be open at 3 p.m. for a special Georgia versus Tennessee live stream and tailgate to kick off the fun. All funds raised will go towards our organization to support the free hospice services we provide to families in need. So grab your tickets now, and we'll see you next month. Learn more about this event by visiting OmahaRiverJam.com.
On the banks of the Omaha. Oh, we done caught them all with no, brother.
105.5 FM, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. We continue on with the world-famous Butch and Bob show here on this Monday morning as we're about to wrap up this month of October. And, Bob, what a great victory, and a convincing victory by the Wayne County Yellow Jackets on Friday night.
Final regular season game, senior night. 24 seniors recognized for the ball game. So now they get ready for the state playoffs. Looks like we're headed to Spalding in a week from this Friday. So as soon as we get all that locked in and get the time and everything, we'll let everybody know. But apparently Spalding and Griffin share that stadium that we went to several years ago where that crime took place. But we won't get into that. But again, that's what it looks like. The matchup's going to be. Spalding is the region we cross over with, and they're the number one seed. And then, like I said, unless Southeast Bullock upsets Burke, we're going to wind up with the number 4 seed. So realistically, that's where we're going to wind up. So we're going to be on the road, but long road trip. But Coach Shaw likes the matchups, so it's all about matchups. As we say all the time, you don't have to be the best team; you just have to be the best team that night. So we'll get ready for state playoff action a week from Friday.
Well, that's good. That's great news that we've made it into the playoffs this year and going to be, going for, getting deep into the playoffs and maybe get to that championship game. But speaking of championship games, what about those Lady Jackets? I mean, here they are. You think they're down and out, and they scrape and they scramble and they fight and claw and they get back into the championship game. And what a story, the Wayne County Yellow Jackets in that state tournament this past week.
I mean, most of the games they played, they had to come from behind to win. But it was a big win Saturday against North Oconee, a team that beat them earlier 12-0 in 5 innings and had a 5-1 lead. Again, that catcher, they intentionally walked her to get them the 5th run. But Dakota Crow came on in the first inning and pitched the entire game the rest of the way and shut them down. And Wayne County came out all the way back 1-9-5, and then had to take on Heritage. It's hard to win 3 games in one day. That's why you don't want to get that loser's bracket.
Yeah, you don't want to get that loser's bracket because you got to play one game after another.
Heritage Catoosa had that star pitcher. Like I said, they've been ranked number 1 all year long, and they won 10-2 in that championship first game. But again, hats off to the Lady Jackets for a great showing. State runner-up, quarterfinals last year, state runner-up this year. So a lot of talent coming back on that team. A lot of young kids coming up to help out. So hats off to those coaches and players. Just a great showing for Wayne County.
Second in the state. I mean, just fantastic. And then getting in the loser bracket, then coming back and getting into that championship game. That just showed you the grit that those girls had to be able to come back like that. You had to come back in that 7th inning against Skessinger and beating a team that just quit a whipping on you a couple days before then and beating them, North of County, and just what a run for those girls.
Great showing.
I mean, just absolutely fat. Just hats off to the Wayne County Yellow Jacket softball team, for the players, the coaches, the parents, everyone involved in it. Just did a great job, and I mean that is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And speaking of, we're talking about Wayne County football team putting a whipping on Southeast Bullock on Friday night. The Bulldogs, I mean, they got going as the game went along against Florida.
And Georgia's just got a very talented team. I mean, Carson Beck said after the game, Bowers is out, but they got so many other weapons. So Gator fans got excited when they scored that opening touchdown, but they didn't score much after that.
Yeah, it was like Keith Urban said on Big Noon Saturday that they were asking him between Florida, Georgia, Florida, Florida, Georgia, Florida, and he always mentions Florida, Georgia because he was a coach down there, but it's Georgia. We call it Georgia, Florida game. But he was, they were asking him about his opinion on it, being so knowledgeable on that game. And he said, Georgia's had either the first, second, or third recruiting class in the last 5 years. He said Tennessee last year was 12th, not Tennessee, but Florida was 12th last year, and down before that. He said, it's like you said, Bob, it's about the Jimmy and Joes, not the X's and O's. And he said that Georgia should win because they've got the athletes. And so he was absolutely right. But now we take on a very tough Missouri team this coming Saturday on the road.
That's games in Athens.
Oh, in Athens, in Athens.
Yeah, these next 2 games are at home, Missouri and Ole Miss, and then head to Tennessee after that and Tech to close it out. So, but this game against Missouri, but don't sleep on Missouri. This is a very talented team.
No, they're good.
They throw it all around the yard. So they gave us a fit last year. So again, that's a big game. I think it's a 3:30 game, CBS.
Yeah, it's another one of those
big
games.
Big SEC doubleheader this weekend. You got Georgia, Missouri at 3:30, and then you got Alabama, LSU at 7. So that's going to be a wild game in the SEC West. Determine who's going to be headed possibly to Atlanta on that western side of the SEC. Again, keep in mind this is the last time it's a SEC East, SEC West. Next year it's all we were talking about.
It's just wide open next year. No east, no west, north, south, southwest, southeast, no nothing.
We were talking about that on the trip to Jacksonville Saturday. What happens if they got 3 teams undefeated in the SEC next year? What do you do?
What do you do?
What's the
There's got to be
tiebreaker?
tiebreakers in there somewhere. Flipping of coins. Arm wrestling, something.
And everybody's asking why Wayne County's 4th. It ended up a 3-way tie. If like I said, if it falls out the way we're going to think it's going to be between Wayne,
because Burke ought to beat Southeast Ham.
Burke, New Hampstead, and Wayne. It's a 3-way tie. What they went, the first tiebreaker is point differential, and New Hampstead won the point differential. Then it reverted back to head-to-head. And since Burke beat Wayne County, Burke gets the 3, Wayne gets the 4. That's why Wayne's at 4th. So, but again, realistically, they finished as high as 2nd. But unfortunately, due to the tiebreaker and the head-to-head, we're going to wind up in the 4th spot. So on the road. But once you get in, it's all about matchups.
Would you take a look at the 2 teams in the World Series right now?
Right,
they were wild card teams. Right. They were wild card teams. Right. And now they're playing for the World Championship.
I think Joe said it best. Does anybody really care about this World Series? Is anybody watching it?
No, I don't know if anybody really cares.
Besides the people in Texas and Arizona. But the whole baseball season, no one talked about these teams at all.
No. It was the Braves, the Dodgers. I mean, you don't have the Yankees in. You don't have the Red Sox in. You don't have some of the blue bloods in for this year.
Baltimore had the big season. They won over 100 games.
Yeah, so. Baltimore won over 100. You don't have any of those teams in there. You got 2 teams who had to. They didn't know if they were going to get in or not. Got in, and now they're playing in the World Series. It all comes down who's hot in those last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Tuesday's going to be an interesting evening because all the talking heads over the weekend. This is the first week that they put out that top 4 poll to see who's going to be in the NCAA playoffs. And
right.
Word is that Georgia may not even be in the top 4, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Georgia will be in the top 4. We'll see. But Kirby apparently used that as motivation Saturday because ESPN had them ranked 6th going into the football poll. They had Michigan, Ohio State, FSU, Washington as the top 4, and Georgia at 6. So, but they had Oklahoma 5, and Oklahoma got beat by Kansas over the weekend. So we'll see how that'll be an interesting revelation tomorrow night when they reveal who they think are the top teams right now.
Well, they once again they asked Urban Myers about that, and he said, "Well,
what did Urban Cryer say?"
He said that, well, to be the dog, you got to beat the dog. Georgia's still number 1 until somebody beats them. Is what he said.
Yeah. At least he's smarter than Spurrier. He went in and told Florida they were going to win Saturday. Like I told Joe, what was he supposed to tell him? Was he supposed to tell him the truth? Sorry, y'all going to get your butt kicked.
Yeah, I know. He said what he should say as a former coach.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't have a former coach of Georgia come out and say, well, y'all boys ain't standing a chance out there. You got to do your best to get them fired up. So, it's what he said. To be the dog, you got to beat the dog. To beat the big, the top dog. And as long as they're winning, then you keep them number 1.
Apparently Dan Mullins said we're going to lose too, and Kirby kind of took a shot at him in his post-game comment. He said, man, I don't understand what these people are saying. We're supposed to lose this ball game. He says, I thought these people were my friends, but apparently not. But Kirby, as long as Kirby's there, we're in pretty good shape. But that was a nice performance. I said Florida scored that early touchdown, but then Georgia just showed up. But defensively, they're playing extremely well. So I said it's a good football team. Got a chance to win it for a 3rd straight year. We'll see how it all plays out. But
still got 4 games
tough
left.
Games. That's it.
It's hard to believe that the NFL is just about a third way over, just a hair over third way, and you still got 4 more games to go in college, and then the championship games, but high school just got 1 more week before we go into the playoffs.
These next 3 SEC games are going to be interesting, but.
Yes,
fortunately, Georgia got 2 of them at home, so they're hard to beat in Athens. And like I said, that trip to Rocky Top's still the one that I'm waiting to see how that goes out, because that's a live place. If anybody's ever been to Knoxville, and they play that Rocky Top 1,000 times over and over.
Yeah, we just got to make sure our band's, playing Go Dogs.
They will, but it's loud in Knoxville. Tennessee got a big win over Kentucky this weekend, too, at Kentucky. So
they did. They did. And in pro football, how in the world did Denver beat Kansas City?
I don't know. I didn't see much of that game. I
didn't see any of it. I just saw the score. How in the world did that happen?
I just assumed that Kansas City was going to beat them, so I didn't pay much attention to it.
How did that happen?
Falcons
lost a tough one. Tell. Yeah, the Falcons lost. But the Jags won big time, so go Jags. Yeah. They beat who now, Bob?
Yeah, well, I lost my starting quarterback and my free safety. My 2 best players, Mika Fitzpatrick and Kenny Pickett. So how am I supposed to win without my 2 best players?
Jacksonville wins. All right, Bob, you have a good day.
Mitchell Trubisky. I wish they'd get rid of him too.
Okay. All right. Take care. All right. The world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by Van's Barbecue, First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, O'Quinn & Associates, and Connection Coffee and Creamery.